Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good night. In this episode of the Music Den, I have a new album review to do for you. It is the latest release from ex-Yes lead singer Jon Anderson called True, released on August 23rd, 2024. True is Jon Anderson's 16th solo release, released through Frontiers Records. There have been two singles released thus far from the album True. Those are Shine On, track two on the album, and True Messenger, which is track one on the album. The album has a playing time of 58 minutes and 22 seconds and was produced by Jon Anderson and Richie Castellano. Now, supporting Jon Anderson as a backup band for this album, you have a group called the Band Geeks. And in the Band Geeks, you have Richie Castellano on bass, guitar, keyboards, and vocals, Andy Ascalisi on drums, percussion, keyboards, and vocals, Andy Graziano on guitars and vocals, Christopher Clark on keyboards, Robert Kipp on vocals and Hammond organ, and Anne-Marie Nacchio on additional vocals. Now, in reading reviews of this album, first of all, I didn't know this album was coming out until about a few weeks ago. And just reading on the reviews of this album, the consensus is that this album is a return to form for Jon Anderson. I've heard the album three times, and you know what? I would agree. This album, it's very strong musically. Jon Anderson, in terms of his vocal delivery, is very strong, very powerful. You would think that, Jon Anderson being 79 years old, that his vocal delivery would be a little weaker in terms of being able to hit the notes. Not not the case at all. Fantastic. And in terms of uh, themes on the album, he basically covers what he's been singing about for the past, I'd say, 20 years or more. He covers themes of spirituality, of love and acceptance, love for oneself, love for one another, hope for mankind, being optimistic in terms of your life and what you have ahead of you, and just straightforward love and affection for the one that you're with. There are nine tracks on this album. The playing times for the songs range from 3 minutes and 20 seconds to 16 minutes and 39 seconds. So, yes, this is a prog album, very much so, with heavy, well, on heavy, I would say moderate use of symphonic treatment in terms of strings and arrangements as such. It starts off with the second single from the album, True Messenger, clocking in at 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, I gotta tell you, the guitar playing on this album for me is stellar. It is amazing. True Messenger starts off with a beautiful guitar intro, strong vocal delivery from Jon Anderson, great bass from Richie Castellano, and you can tell that he's playing a Rickenbacker bass. And when you look at the videos that's online, because you can stream this album on YouTube as well, he's playing a very lime, bright colored lime green bass, and you can tell it's a Rickenbacker. But moving on from True Messenger, the second track, Shine On, the first single from the album, clocking in at 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Great bass work on this album. Fantastic harmony vocal, very intricate arrangements. Track three is one of the longer tracks on the album, clocking in at 9 minutes and 51 seconds, called Counties and Countries. Beautiful acoustic guitar intro on this track, very intricate passages. Um, it does go through different time changes, time signature changes and stuff. Very tranquil synth passages on this track and fantastic guitar tone on this album on every track. Really thick, rich guitar tone. Track four is another shorter track called Build Me an Ocean, clocking in at 3 minutes and 20 seconds. In my notes, I have here beautiful piano, a nice slow tempo to the track, great strings, and nice acoustic guitar on this album. Um, Next track is a song called Still a Friend, clocking in at 5 minutes and 2 seconds. In my notes, I have here nice twinning of guitar melody, and it's a very rhythmic track. And you sit there, and midway through the track, your head starts to bop and your foot starts to tap. So it's really great, really fantastic. Next up, after Still a Friend, is another track called Make It Right, clocking in at 6 minutes and 7 seconds. Um, in my notes, I have your beautiful guitar, acoustic guitar intro. Sorry, there's a nice repetitive guitar passage that goes through the track, and it keeps you going. Gives just keeps you propel, pushing forward. Let's say, right? And there's a fantastic use of choir on this track. Very beautiful, very beautiful. After Make It Right is a track called Realization Part 2. You gotta wonder what happened to Part 1, right? Uh, in my notes, I have here for Realization. Beautiful guitar, largely acoustic instrumentation on this track. A lot of these songs, guys, are again not, they're not so much questioning what's around you. It's about looking around you and accepting what's there and trying to make any situation worthwhile and work to your advantage. That's how I'm interpreting these tracks. They're fantastic. And again, Jon Anderson's vocals are just sublime. Amazing. Amazing. Up next, after Realization Part 2, is the epic Once Upon a Dream, clocking in at 16 minutes and 39 seconds. This is just unreal. And in my notes here, I have beautiful acoustic guitar and strings on the intro. Uh, this track builds up in intensity and in scope and in range. It's a very epic sounding track. Different sections, different time signatures. In my notes, I also have here intricate passages, very melodic, very melodic. Great guitar solo on this track, just beautiful. And in the middle of the track, in the midsection, there's a wonderful ethereal vocal that comes in. Okay, uh, I imagine from Anne Marie Nakil. Just beautiful, very angelic, and again, very ethereal. Track 9, the last track on the album, is called Thank God, clocking in at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. And in my notes, I have here a nice mid-tempo arrangement, beautiful piano, a beautiful love song, subtle strings, and a beautiful melody. Basically, Thank God is Jon Anderson saying to his wife, I am very fortunate to have you in my life. And I thank God for every day that you are in my life and that we can spend our life together and learn from one another and grow and just love one another for the rest of our lives. That is basically it. There's no, sort of philosophical point to be made at the end of the album. All he's basically saying is, I love you, I cherish you, I know you love me, and I know you cherish me. Let's just be together and enjoy what we have. Okay. Now, I'll show you this. This is the booklet of the album. Just a second, guys. There you have it. Okay. Now, in terms of cover art, not the best, right? Not the best in terms of album art. But you know what? It is what it is. Okay. And you have here some shots of Anderson, as I attempt to grab the booklet to show you. Just one second, guys. Some beautiful shots of him, and you have the lyrics to all the tracks on very colorful pages. This album, for me, I honestly do see this album as very much a return to form um, for Jon Anderson. It is very strong. Some of the reviews of the album have stated that it basically is hugging the 70s prog elements of Yes, and a bit of the 80s. I would agree with the 70s reference or connection. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it being akin to you know, uh, the 80s, yes. Um, I would say that I would compare this album to Talk from 1994, but with live instrumentation, no computers, or if there are computers, very very minimal use of computers on this album. Um, Very much a live drum sound on this album, and you can tell that the band are having fun in the studio with this release. And you know what? Why not? I mean, again, vocally, Jon Anderson is extremely strong on this album. He has not lost one bit of strength in his vocal delivery. Please check this album out. You can listen to it on YouTube. You can get this on Amazon.ca for $19.99, or you can go to Amazon.com and get it for like $23.99, which I made a mistake of doing, and I ended up paying $29.99 for it. But you can still get it on Amazon.ca for a cheaper price. Again, $19.99. So that's it for now. If you've heard the album, please let me know what you think of True down there, down in the comments. And yeah, to me, Jon Anderson is back, and he's back in a big way. You know what I mean? If he was touring, I'd go see him. They are going to be doing a tour for this album. And if you can go check him out in concert, or if you want to get a copy of the album, go for it. Again, don't take my word for it. Listen to it on YouTube. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And if you like the album, go pick it up. Anyways, that's it for now. We will, well, we will. Jim Bricker and I are going to be doing more shows together um, coming up. And yeah, we have more ideas to put together and to present to you. So for now, please look after yourselves and one another. Click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content that got coming up. And I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye for now.